All right, people. This is what we wanted to see. This is the kind of days we should be excited about. Why? Because this is the kind of move that is supposed to happen on a daily basis for at least a couple of days for AMC to start doing what it was supposed to do. I say start because I'm still being a little bit cautious because, hey, we are still below the 30s. Say until, this is my personal way of seeing things, until we get back to the 50s, to the 60s, and definitely we reach past the new high of 72 that we hit last year, man, it will still be in a kind of weird territory. Why? Because we've been here before and we know that at any time we can have something happening. But let me share with you in this video some of the things that I'm seeing which could lead us to actually be more excited about the price continuing to run up as this news and the way the market is behaving is showing us. So first off, what happened today? Man, we already knew. I shared with you a video yesterday. Yes, that was yesterday. And I was giving you an indication of fresh data coming from the short interest and the days to cover that were signifying that we may have another epic squeeze. And boom, today we hit 45% on the green, $9 a share. $9 per share gain. This is incredible. So there is something happening which is actually causing me to think this might not be the end. This run might continue to last a little bit longer, potentially putting us back to a very, very interesting place, because if you look at the chart here, we are strongly rebounding, and there were some different levels of short sellers coming at some prices here. So when you look at what GameStop did, all right, GameStop gained 25% today, and cost gained 24% today, all right. Newegg gained 43% today, even though it might not be labeled as a meme stock. And then you also have Beth Bath & Beyond, just to cite these few, gaining almost 17% today. If you pay close attention to all of these, first of all, after hours, none of these are crashing, at least till as of now I'm making this video, maybe except for Newegg. But for cost, cost is even gaining after hours. GameStop barely staying flat, and then AMC as well barely staying flat. So if you look at another thing happening today, bunch of the run up really happened in the later part of the trading session. All right, so usually we'll run up high and maybe at 1 p.m 12 p.m will get chopped back down, and then maybe for some reason remain to stay high, but not high enough or the highest level that he hit during the intraday session. But today it was totally different, and you look, it's the same thing for GameStop, for cost, and for Bed Bath & Beyond. All right, so that's number two. And then number three, which is very, 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 very bullish, is the fact that, hey, we have more than 107,000 calls already in the money, meaning people are already making money on these calls. But when you look at the parity between the two, the amount of calls, meaning the number of people who are betting on the stock price to continue to increase, and the amount of puts, we're talking about what, 100,000 here against 200, only 200. So this gives another setup, perfect setup for another epic gamma squeeze that may potentially be in the play here for the stock. All right, so especially as we do close on Friday, but even if we are being careful and they try to snag back all these gains, we may still remain above the $25 per share, which is very strong. But I wouldn't be really inclined to think about it because, again, if you go back to the 1 year chart, guys, remember how we were chopped down from the 50s to the 14s at every major stage, which I will call a psychological level. There were a bunch of shorts doubling down. First off at 50, and then at 35, and then at 32 or 30, and then right now where we stand around the 29 or the 30s. But Because all of these guys, which I believe are the new shorts, not that the one we'll be talking about since the beginning of this, journey, not the Citadel. These are the new shorts who kind of used the market momentum that we had since the last 3 months to actually double down on the downtrend on the market because it's easier to short any stock there. All right. So these are the people, these are the shorts I will believe to be the one that are cashing out of getting out of their short positions, hence creating this massive buying pressure because the volume today at some point hit 200 million. So because we have on one hand this huge amount of buying pressure which might come from the option chain, the option volume, all right, causing another huge run up on the stock. But I think because these guys are getting out, bunch of these guys are also technical traders or day traders. So they look at what is happening with the momentum of the stock, so they can actually switch from being a short seller now that they cover to chasing the pump. And because they will chase the pump, and you add to that the fear of missing out, people will start really looking again at what AMC and all of these other stocks are doing. All right. So if you combine all of this, I can say fairly we can expect the share price to continue to run up for the coming days. But as always, we need to be hoping for the best, but also be prepared for the worst, because with AMC, you just never know. This might be the result of the regulations that the SEC with other agencies were putting in place and start to be implemented in March. So we are 3 days away from March being over. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the market kind of reversing and now not being in a downtrend and kind of consolidating before maybe another bull trend. Nobody knows for sure, but the truth of the matter is when you look at the data from the option chain, from the market sentiment, and from the psychological levels, because this is really important, people will now see that, hey, you know what? AMC is not dead. And with such bounce that we had today, man, it means we might be in for a very interesting treat. So very interesting week. Of course, we're going to continue to monitor everything and keep you guys up to date. So I'll see you in the next video.